Welcome to this edition of the Wonderbury Podcast.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dave.
You can find us online at wonderbury.com.
You can find me at dwonderly on Twitter.
Or I'm Brian Keysbury, anywhere the internet can be found.
You can leave us a comment pretty much anywhere these days. Check out our website for all the locations.
I set up a Google alert, so anywhere you would mention Wonderbury, we will find you.
We will do our best to find you.
Yeah.
If you can talk to us, we can talk to you.
Really, we won't do it. Google will do it for me. Google's my little assistant.
And I'm a super obsessed older scale of millennial, so I'll see it, don't worry.
Yep.
Busy week, man.
You're telling me, man. I think I put in 48 and a half hours at the shop. I bought and set up and played the Android, the Shield TV quite a lot, really.
How you like it?
It's amazing. Amazing.
That's good to hear.
We will have to do a whole episode just to talk about it and the features and what has been blowing me away. Because it's really nice. It is really nice.
Cool.
I don't want to give too much away because I'm still finding stuff. I still finding new things on it. Of course, I've only had it 3 days. Got it 3-4 days.
Nice.
That and the LIFX bulb, LIFX.
That's the one that communicates in through like Google's infrastructure, right? Or is it any pretty much smart home infrastructure?
Yeah, any smart home, and then they have their own system as well.
Does it plug into IFTTT?
Yes. So the first thing I did was set it up. So when the Cubs score, it flashes a blue color for what their score is. So I know I could be sitting there and all of a sudden my light will start flashing a soft blue color. And I go, oh, Cubs scored. Second thing I did was set up integration with Domino's. So when you order, Domino's has the tracker and they have IFTTT integration. And
Domino's has IFTTT integration?
Yes. Because
oh dear Lord, that's amazing.
What pizza place shouldn't? So they have a tracker. When you order a pizza from Domino's, there's a tracker.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells you,
when it goes in the oven, who's touching the pizza, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And the pizza came out. Everything looks fine. Okay, pizza's on for delivery. So I set a trigger. So when Domino's tells me my pizza is being delivered, when they leave Domino's with my pizza, my light flashes 4 times in yellow, like a deep yellow color. And I go, oh, pizza's coming. But I didn't. And so that was the first thing I did. Christy was like, what do we want for dinner? And I'm like, we're ordering Domino's. Like, I can make the light bulb flash when the pizza's coming. We are ordering Domino's. I ordered Domino's. Dude, the light flashed. Like, I stood up and walked over to the door, and there's the pizza guy pulling up right as I got to the door, and I was like, this is amazing. This is the future.
That is awesome. That is awesome. But now I'm starting to think of what I can do with that and Pi and controllers and a bunch of other stuff too.
Yep. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to put one on the porch. And then I could just have it automatically turn on the porch light when they're coming. That way they can see that it's my house.
You know, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because we always turn the light on when we order a pizza, so they know what to look for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could do that automatically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
week was mom's first full week of radiation and had chemo on Monday. So
Yikes. The
yeah,
first few weeks are pretty gross.
yeah, it wasn't too bad for her. I know she's had some nausea issues, but she's been doing pretty well with it. So that's really good, and they're really good with her pain management. So
Cool.
she's been doing really well on that front as well.
Huh.
But yeah, it's been long.
Yeah, that can be hectic.
Yeah, it really can. But Google I/O happened this week.
Did it ever?
Yeah. And
I got as excited as I did when I saw the Google Glass announcement for one very particular thing. And dude, when I saw the Google Glass announcement, I was like full hard on tech nerd.
well, yeah,
Like,
you went out and bought a pair.
I went and bought a pair. I was that excited. You know what else I went and bought this week because I saw it at the Google I/O?
Google Home.
No, I'm convinced that I don't need an actual home device. We'll discuss that later. I already bought a physical picture book from pictures in my Google Photos. Not only that, but I nerded out. I went through and I found all the coolest pictures of me playing bass on stage. Found all the best pictures that I could find of myself, and I made myself a Best of Brian book.
Yeah, that actually looks not just absolutely amazing that you can put together your own picture book, but that it's actually affordable.
Yeah.
Like they're not going all crazy on prices here either.
No. $10. I bought the soft cover for $10. I was like, hey.
How much is the hardcover?
20.
Wow.
Right?
That's we
pretty
could do
reasonable.
It's those picture books look absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what mine looks like when it gets here.
Yeah, they had some really cool stuff with photo stuff that's coming.
Yeah, the automatic sharing.
The blockage, the auto remove, the whatever's blocking, like going through a fence. Or a screen or something like that, being able to automatically remove that looked real interesting too.
Yeah.
And I know Photoshop's got that for a while, but to have that built in on the fly.
Yeah, built in on the fly, and then be able to print it in a book.
But the sharing feature,
Photoshop can't do that.
I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the. So I didn't watch the entire. I will admit I didn't watch the entire thing. I've watched snippets here and there.
Dude.
And I wasn't paying as much attention to the photo stuff because I figured you would.
Okay.
So what exactly are the new features for the sharing for photos?
Okay, so you can set up let's start with an event. So remember, let's say I have a party and you and Hillary and like Kyle and Olivia, James and Monty and Paul, like the whole crew comes up and we're partying it up to everybody's taking pictures, and everybody goes home at the end of the party.
Yeah.
Nobody shares pictures. We're like, oh man, I don't have any pictures of myself. So Google Photos, as it tags people's faces,
right,
it will ask you if you want to share those photos with those people, and then vice versa as well. It will try to sync up everybody that was at the party to share all of their pictures into kind of one group album.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I'm disappointed that this is actually a rehash of a previous feature that they had that was part of the Google Plus events, where anybody could add photos
Yeah,
straight to the
I
event
do remember the events
screen.
because we did that for what
We did
event?
that
Well,
for
there
a
was a
lot of
couple of
stuff.
events that we've done that with.
Yeah.
I know one of the
Events.
barbecues that we had at my house we did that with.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like you, me, and Kenny and Dustin were the ones that shared everything.
Yep. It seems like it's similar to that, but it's more automated. So it'll, the Google Photos app will be more proactive about telling you to do those things and like nudging you into like, hey, you should share those pictures with Dave and Kyle because they were there. Maybe they'd like to see those pictures.
That's kind of nice.
Yep.
That's real nice.
The other big one was automatic sharing with faces. So
Yeah, and I have mine right now set up to automatically sort with faces.
yeah.
So I can tag people's faces and then I can just type in their name and it will show me all the pictures that have them in there. And the cool thing about that is that it's detected Alice growing up.
Yeah.
So if I type in her, it will do everything from when she's a baby to what I took a couple days ago.
Yeah, I have the same thing going with Dominic right now too. It's amazing.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So with that face tagging, you can set up shared libraries. So say I want to share my photo library with Christy. I can set it so it automatically shares all or just certain faces. And then on her device, if I share all my whole library with her, she can pick certain things to automatically go into her main photo feed. So if she picks Dominic's face and says, okay, any picture from Brian with Dominic's face, I want automatically in my feed. It would, anytime I would take a picture of Dominic, it would automatically show up in her photo feed, so she would have that picture too.
Nice.
So no button sharing. You set it up one time, and then we automatically share pictures of the kid or whatever.
I might talk to my dad about this and automatically share because I think him and I don't know if my stepmom uses it too, but that'd be great for automatically sharing.
Right?
That would be absolutely awesome.
The demo that the guy did on stage was pretty spectacular, and he even used, instead of using his actual kids to take a picture, he brought in a cardboard cutout, took a picture of himself with the cardboard cutout, and it recognized the cardboard cutout as having his kids' faces, and automatically synced right there for him.
That's cool.
As he was explaining it, he was like, "Oh, and there it goes, right in her stream." That was pretty awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to rewatch the entirety of I/O.
Yeah, dude, Google, it was all about Google Photos. In my head, that's where it was at. They did a lot of stuff for Google Photos.
They've really turned the photos feature. They've turned that dial up big time.
Yeah.
As you know, the Nexus cameras were good. Apparently, the Pixel cameras are better. I'm sure the Pixel 2 cameras are going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, they've really spent a lot of time and focus on pictures and video.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely awesome. I'm really glad they finally did that and they pulled that trigger.
And getting so much better so fast.
Yeah.
They definitely need to ramp up the editing game some. Especially because Picnic was one of the best online photo editors. Like it was it had multi-layer support and all sorts of semi-advanced features. It wasn't like a full-on comparison to Photoshop, but it could do quite a lot of stuff.
They need to do one that's focused around a Chromebook.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, they bought the Picnic application a few years ago, and then built some of the features into Google Photos, and then the rest of it just disappeared. Which is so disappointing. It was such a good service.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, right after I kind of watched, I ran the experiment, and my Nexus 6P is running the developer's beta version for Android O. And I installed it this morning, and so far I've been fairly impressed with it. There's not a whole lot of it's small changes. One change that annoys the ever living crap out of myself. Well, two, but it's kind of stems around the same thing. I don't understand why they did it. Visually, it doesn't look as good. They switched the icon location. And I know this is going to sound like first world problems and picky, but they switched the icons locations of the Wi-Fi and the cell network.
Aren't those
so
movable?
Before, the Wi-Fi is kind of a V shape with the umbrella on top, and to the right of it was the triangled slant of the cell. But now those two are reversed, and when you turn Wi-Fi off, like physically turn it off, it just grays out in the notification bar. It's always there now.
So can you not edit that menu anymore?
This is the one that's always on. Like when you slide down, you can edit that menu. Yes. But I'm talking about the icons that are always at the top. So even when you turn Wi-Fi off, the outline Wi-Fi stays there. It's just grayed out. And
no, I just swapped my Wi-Fi and my cell network on the full pull-down menu, and it changed it on the quick menu.
I've got to dig a little bit more. I'm not the only person that's complained about this thing either. I found it was one of the top what's going on here. The other thing that I've kind of played with
may just be a bug because it's already a feature on N.
Yeah. That could be. Like I said, I've spent almost a full day with it, and I was driving around a lot today, so I didn't really get to play with features. But I did play with the picture-in-picture feature, and that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Being able to always have the video there is kind of nice. I pay for YouTube Red, so I don't worry about not being able to hear if I switch out tab. But if I'm watching a video in Chrome browser, anytime you leave Chrome, that video completely stops.
Yeah.
Well, now I can you could also set up down in the bottom where the three, the back, the home, and the recents is. You can set up 2 more buttons down there as well. And I've assigned one of those 2 buttons to specifically for the picture-in-picture. So if I'm something that supports the picture-in-picture, I just hit the button, it pulls the picture-in-picture down in the bottom corner, and then I can click it and drag it around. I can swipe it off the screen to turn it off. I can click it and then click it again to bring it back up to the main screen. I haven't figured out resizing yet, but it's pretty spectacular what it's capable of.
That's pretty awesome. I'm hoping. I thought maybe they said all the O features would come to Android TV. I'm hoping that'll be.
There's a lot of features coming to the TVs. Like the 360 videos is coming to TV.
Yeah, that
and being able to use the arrow controls on your remote to control the location of it, and that includes Live 360.
I think on my Shield TV, I have a remote and I have 2 controllers. I think my remote has a gyroscope in it.
Oh, that's kind of nice. That might come in handy.
Or maybe that was the TV's remote. I don't know. One of my remotes has a motion detection something in it.
Yeah.
Which would, that would be awesome. Just like turn the remote around and like, whoop, there we go.
Yeah, that would be kind of awesome.
Google Assistant coming to Android TV?
Google Assistant coming to the iPhone?
Dude, that was the best part. Did you hear the crowd? They were like, hooray! Finally a good service for the iPhone. That was amazing.
I cannot wait for the side-by-side iPhone to iPhone comparisons that match up Assistant with Siri.
Yeah.
That is going to be so much fun to watch. Speaking of Assistant, you can now order, if like developers implement it, you can order food and have it delivered through Assistant.
Yeah.
Without having to open another app.
Yep. And have it pay with your card.
Have it pay with your fingerprint.
Yeah. That's going to be amazing.
That's going to be dangerous.
I'm excited for Assistant on the TV. Partially because I already don't think that I need a home device. And I don't know what else to call it because the software is called Home. And Assistant works with Home, which controls your Chromecast, your TV devices, your smart home objects like my lights.
Well, with you having the Shield, you've kind of eliminated the need for a home because you already have, especially when it comes to it, you'll have Google Assistant
once
there with you.
There. Yeah,
someone like me who primarily for his TV uses Roku, and I have a Chromecast hooked up, but my primary viewership is through my Roku. I would probably get more use out of a home.
Well, I also don't see any features. I've only found one feature that you can do on the home that you can't do directly on your phone.
Oh, what's that?
So you can set groups. If you have a home device, you can set groups.
Yep.
And so if you have a Chromecast on a TV in your living room, you can set that Chromecast to be on that TV in the living room, and it knows where it is. So when you say cast YouTube or cast Netflix to the living room, it knows where to go. That doesn't work on your phone yet.
There's another thing that Home does that I guess your phone would do, but your Shield would not be able to do. Now.
What?
Make phone calls. Being able to call from your Google Home. Not have to go to your phone, not have to do anything of that. You're working, doing something around the house. You need to call someone. You can do it from your home. That I see a lot more. So I was kind of paying attention to the home stuff because, as we covered, was it last week or the week before, where we covered Amazon and Alexa getting a touchscreen and the ability to call other devices and stuff, and that was awesome. But at the same time, it was very limiting. Google Home took that same idea, didn't go the touchscreen route, but went by the way, we can now do this.
Yeah.
And allows you to make phone calls to any landline or cell phone. It will also interface in with your TV, your Chromecast, or your Android TV, to where if you ask contextual information, it can show visual aids. So if you ask what the weather is going to be like, it can actually display it on the television.
Yeah, and
instead of just trying to tell you.
It can do that with because of the groups. That part of that is built right into Assistant, other than the group parts. So if they enable the grouping just in the Google Home app, then we should be able to do that directly on our phones.
Yeah.
With me having Hangouts as my calling and text provider, I'm wondering if I could put that on the Shield.
You might be able to, but I think, doesn't Fi somehow differentiate Hangouts on other devices and Hangouts on your Fi-enabled phone?
I don't think so.
So could you make your regular phone calls from Hangouts on your computer?
Yeah. Yep.
That's interesting.
All of the stuff that everybody's freaking out about Hangouts about is not happening to me because I have Fi.
Because you have Fi, and Fi is exempt from all of the crap.
It's exempt from Hangouts falling apart. That's one of two advantages that I have currently. That and my service is really cheap.
Yeah. Just in our last, we've only got a couple more minutes left of this episode. Just a quick touch on a couple more things. Google Assistant's going to be partnering up with Google Lens to turn Assistant into being able to see what's around you and gather information from it and explain to you what's going on.
That's going to be amazing.
Think reverse image search on your phone without actually having to snap a picture.
Like like goggles, only better.
Yeah. So it'll be goggles on crack. Well, it's what goggles was supposed to slowly turn into.
supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Yeah. So once again, something that I had been pissed about for the last year that was an abandoned project suddenly resurfaces with a new name and is 1,000 times better.
Yep.
And I need to stop complaining about Google abandoning projects because they've been coming back with vengeances.
Yeah, I mean, like, what we have 3 episodes ago, you're like, oh, Android TV's dead, and now they're like, whoa.
Yeah, and now
Here comes the Android TV.
Exactly. I'm eating crow right now. That's
yeah.
They're doubling down on the Daydream system for the virtual reality, and by the end of the year, they'll be selling a standalone virtual reality.
Yeah.
So you don't need a phone, you don't need a computer. It's all built in, which should be extremely interesting. And
built by HTC.
Yep.
Was one of the partners.
Yep, and they're the ones that make the virtual headset, the Vive.
Yeah.
That $800 masterpiece that I really want, but I'm not willing to spend $800 on.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I took away from that I that kind of surprised me is that not only will they have the virtual reality thing going on, but they'll also be able to key in contextual clues as to where you are based on sensors and what's around you.
Yeah.
So as you're interacting with this virtual world or whatever you're doing, if you walk around with it on your head, you can still in some way be able to be able to miss whatever it is around you that might be blocking.
Yeah.
Which I thought was extremely interesting and fascinating, and just one of the few things that I really liked about that idea.
Okay.
Daydream though is still very limited, although they're adding Samsung to the list of Daydream enabled, which is very interesting, seeing how that Samsung has Gear VR.
Hold on. If you think that feature is pretty awesome, you need to look up the Minecraft demo on a Microsoft HoloLens.
Not watching anything Minecraft, as I mentioned in the pre-show, until we record our stuff.
No. No. Go. You watch the demo on the HoloLens.
Okay.
It won't tell you how to do anything.
All right.
Other than melt your brain, because if they make that a reality, I would probably have to jump ship and go play on HoloLens. It's that. If Dave, I just said I would give up some Android devices for what this video looks like it would do. It's that awesome. So
all right, I'll have to look at that.
yeah.
Minecraft on a HoloLens. All right. And
yeah.
lastly, Android is popular.
Very, very much so.
Android is not just popular, but it is exploding.
It doesn't help that I have like 8 Android devices.
2 billion monthly active devices.
Yep.
That's insane.
And I swear, only 8 of those are me. Only 8 of them.
Couple other notations off of that. They're also Android added, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I heard it just this evening before I started doing this. They're allowing another programming language for Android apps.
Oh yeah, starts with a K. Conti?
Yep.
Yep.
They are
the first time ever.
Yes, which is outstanding. They are also changing a lot of stuff in the developers portal to start weeding out, like they're doing better breakdowns as to why, forgive my language, shitty apps are shitty.
Yep.
And starting to crack down on subpar apps that way. So hopefully some of those metrics will make it out into the Play Store, and we can get better metrics for unknown developers of what's really kind of going on behind the scenes and how the apps interact and all that stuff.
And hopefully that helps encourage bigger developers to do bigger, better things.
Yep.
Which leads back to the Shield TV is there's not a huge game selection.
Android TV games and Android games. I think as much as we were all hoping that the Ouya would help with that ecosphere, I think it did a lot of damage to that ecosphere.
Yeah.
And I think the ultimate of it, not living up to its hype, but 2, it not being as selling popular as people wanted it to, I think did a lot of damage for game developers having to develop for another platform.
Yep.
But I also think there's part of it's that, and I also think that's part of it is game developers that develop for mobile platform tend to only develop for mobile platform. This is the problem whether you're on iOS or you're in Android. You aren't finding the games that people want to play, like the big name games that you and I would like to play with a controller in front of a TV on Android TV. Yeah. They're not making them for any mobile platform whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because the hardware specs in those are just not going to be what you can pull off of a desktop.
Yeah.
You're not going to get Fallout or Skyrim. You'll get Fallout Shelter.
I actually think I have Fallout available.
Fallout proper?
Maybe. I think that was on my NVIDIA list. There's a
NVIDIA now NVIDIA might be able to do more with it because it is the Shield. Yeah. But I'm talking for Android TV or for iOS devices.
Yeah.
Now the NVIDIA does a little cross thing where NVIDIA can do a lot of stuff. Just like Microsoft was hoping that the Windows Phone would take off so that they could do some of that stuff. And that didn't end up working. Also, in other news, in case you've missed it, Canonical and Ubuntu has abandoned the Unity project. They've abandoned the mobile project and the Convergence project. And they're now going to be focusing really hard on servers, the cloud, and the enterprise stuff. Ubuntu Desktop is going back to GNOME and will be continuing being maintained as a community project from the way it looks. They've just laid off or gotten rid of a whole bunch of developers. A lot of people have been leaving. The CEO stepped down, and Mark Shuttleworth is back as CEO of the company. And rumor has it they're planning for an IPO. So, huge changes in the Linux world with Ubuntu. I have not played. Apparently, Windows has partnered up with Canonical and with Red Hat for Fedora, and SUSE for, I think it's OpenSUSE, isn't it?
Yeah.
To allow you to download actual full installs of Linux within Windows from the Windows Store. So I'm going to play with that this next week. I'll report back next week on that one.
Okay.
But you got any other last closing? Anything else before we close this thing out?
I have hopes that NVIDIA will push the Android TV world. The Mi Box was a failure. Nexus Player was all right. The Android TVs that have, like the TVs that have Android built in, like the Sony Bravia. I don't remember what else. I think there was an LG and something else.
Yeah.
Those ones. There's two separate things going on with the Android TV. Is there's streaming devices and then there's the gaming devices.
Mm-hmm.
The Shield is definitely the gaming device, and all the rest of them were streaming devices, except the Nexus Player and the Mi Box to a little extent tried to be gaming boxes, but they just didn't have the power.
Yeah.
And
Ouya just collapsed on all fronts.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to admit it, I really wanted that little cube to succeed.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Too many problems out of the gate.
Yeah. But I'll do a pretty thorough, in-depth review.
Awesome.
Maybe next week.
Awesome. We can either do that as part of the podcast, or you can do that as a separate video, and then we can reference to it in the podcast.
Yeah, I've been wondering. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we can talk about that afterward.
Yeah, I have a card started.
Sweet. But until next week, you guys have a wonderful week. And out. 38 minutes, 28 seconds.